The new Lonely Planet guide puts it rather more bluntly, painting Britain as a country that's overcrowded and overpriced. It says Surrey is boring and dull, Durham only has a cathedral that's worth visiting, and Essex is home to chavs and boy racers. Not surprisingly, Britain's tourism bosses are less than impressed. This is an industry worth billions of pounds a year to the nation's economy. And in Bath, they deny tourists are being ripped off.
Visitors get value for money, but they also go away with a feeling about Bath that encourages them to return at some point in the future.
Some places do get a good write-up in the new guide. Edinburgh, Manchester and Birmingham are all portrayed as being cool and chic. And we found plenty of happy customers in Bath today.
We've got great weather this time. It's actually cheaper here for Australians now because of the dollar. And it's still as nice as it ever was.
The best thing is fish and chips.
But with Britain desperate to cash in on post-royal wedding publicity, the worry is it's the negative comments that'll be noticed and remembered.
Was John Kay there with some of the obvious and some of the rather more contentious conclusions in that new tourist guide. OK, well, the news of 6 is coming up in a few minutes. It's George today, but in the meantime, I'll hand you to John once again for the weather.
Thanks, Hugh. If you are holiday making in the UK over the next few days, be prepared for just about anything. There'll be some rain, there'll be some sun, there'll be some cloud, and that's really been the story for many of us today. It was somewhat more cloudy across parts of eastern and southern England than we were anticipating. That had an effect on the temperatures, but most of us are seeing some late sunshine now. Mind you, there are a few showers kicking about, notably across the north, and they'll keep going across Northern Ireland and Scotland right the way through, particularly in the west, but most other places will be dry with largely clear skies, and it will be quite a cool night out there. Temperatures in many places will get down into single figures come around about dawn. So a fresh old start to Thursday. Another showery day in prospect. There'll be showers from the word go across the more northern and western areas. So, for example, Wales, for your journey to work, be prepared for a few downpours, and for northern England as well. It's been quite cool out there in the breeze. For Northern Ireland, don't rely on the dry weather. There will be a number of showers through the morning, as there will be in Scotland, particularly out west. And here there'll be fairly meaty affairs with some hail and thunder mixed in too. Arguably the best of any bright weather will be further east across Scotland, parts of north east England too. Down into the Midlands, relatively few showers as we start the day, and it should be a dry and bright start for a good part of East Anglia and indeed southern England. And I'm hopeful that there'll be rather more sunshine around than we saw today across this part of the world, just the odd shower around. For the southwest of England, I think we'll get away with it by and large through the day. Most of the showers will be further north and east. They will develop across parts of central and southeastern England, but the main focus will be further north, and again they will be quite thundery in nature as we go through the afternoon. Best of the sunshine, parts of West Wales and the southwest. Temperatures up and down like a yo-yo. When the sun comes out, they lift up into the mid to high teens. When the showers come along, of course, they'll fall away by a few degrees. More showers come on Friday, again particularly across the more northern and western parts of the UK, but a few will develop further south and east later on in the day. It's a showery story for the rest of the week, and one other theme which will come out is that it will turn somewhat cooler, this area of blue just edging down from the northwest. So as we start the weekend, it will feel quite fresh out there, and that cool feel accentuated by a noticeable northwesterly breeze, and that will drive a number of quite heavy showers right the way down across the UK on Saturday. By Sunday, I think those showers starting to die away from the more western areas, but I think they'll hang on across the east. Useful rain, of course, for those who need it. Much more detail, as ever, can be found online or the red button, page 400.
It's going to get even harder. A warning from the Bank of England governor. A gloomy prospect for Britain's economy. Inflation is set to rise to 5% and growth could be slower.
There is no doubt that we are facing a difficult time ahead. I've never concealed that, and I said it consistently. We are facing a difficult time ahead.
Also on tonight's programme. 1 year into the coalition and a week after a drubbing by voters, Nick Clegg promises a tougher line.
Hey, watch out!
police to get new powers to issue £100 fines for bad driving.
I think it's an excellent idea. I hate people doing that, but I think the police will find it very difficult to do.
Driver seems to be a very easy target for government to make money.
How do RAF pilots know what to bomb in Libya? We get exclusive access to a spy plane flight. Sarah Ferguson tells Oprah about how it felt to be left off the royal wedding guest list.
It was so difficult because I wanted to be there with my girls.
And in Sports Day at 6:45 on the BBC News Channel, we'll look ahead to Celtic's game at Hearts tonight, a game they can't afford to lose, or Rangers will be champions.
Good evening and welcome to the BBC's News at 6. The Bank of England governor didn't mince his words today. He said that inflation was still rising and warned that a full recovery from recession would be slower than previous estimates. Mervyn King said inflation would hit 5% and he downgraded the bank's growth forecast for this year. So how does all that affect families and businesses across the UK? Here's our chief economics correspondent, Hugh Pym.
Things don't look any brighter. There are more clouds on the horizon. That's the message from the Bank of England. It's lowered its view of how much growth there's going to be this year, and it's pushed up its inflation outlook to a likely 5% sometime soon. The governor warned households that more cost of living increases were coming their way.
Oil prices are 17% higher than we and the market thought they would be 3 months ago when we last met. That's a big change. It's going to have a big effect on inflation in the